is time. It is time to brew your best beer. The 2015 SJPORR Challenge is brought to you by the Grainbill Homebrew Supply, located in Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Brewers Exchange, operating in the U.S. and Canada. Finney's Homebrew Emporium, located in Bishopdale, Christchurch, New Zealand. And Omega Yeast, located in Chicago, Illinois.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's review. It's a Monday, so thank goodness we have all of that horrible Monday stuff over and done with. There's only the lovely part of Monday left, which involves drinking beer. Tonight I'm going to review this one, C85-160-30C, 4.8%, and it's called Summer IPA. I've just realised that, beg my pardon, I have forgotten to check to see if this one has an information sheet. Excuse me being a little bit distracted because I'm quickly popping off to the email where Jonathan has sent all of the information sheets. So it is C85-160-30C, and it does indeed have an information sheet. So I am quickly, as fast as I can, printing it whilst I'm actually filming. So hopefully, obviously that's horrendously unprofessional, but I'm sure my splendiferous performance has carried it off. Luckily the print is right here, as you can probably hear. Excellent. So, let's go through some of the information for this beer. Brewed on the 11th of August, it was bottled on the 24th, so it had 13 days presumably just in the primary. Original gravity 1046, finished at 1009, so I guess that puts it somewhere around 5%. Yeah, sorry, 4.8% it says on the bottle. Grains, Marisota, biscuit and malt, and Crystal 40. Interesting. Hops, it's only Citra. If you want to know why I'm laughing, then watch my previous video. So a good bit of Citra for bittering. Bit for flavour, bit for aroma, and a bit for dry hop as well. Also, 680 grams, that's quite a lot of raw honey, added 7 minutes from the end of the boil. No additives or treatments, purchased direct from the local beekeeper 2 miles from my home brewery. 30 grams of elderflower, I don't know what that means, elderflower what? Presumably elderflower cordial, or maybe elderflowers. Yeah, maybe elderflowers. That could be a nice touch. Yeast is USA 5, fermented at 20 degrees. Oh, secondary. Okay, so that maybe it was secondary. This is interesting because that's a very short time for it to be primary and then secondary, I would say. We will see how it goes. Brewer's notes, bit of water treatment as well. Don't know the original profile of the water, so it's difficult to say what effect that would have, and I don't practice much water chemistry myself either, so let's give it a go. So plastic bottle, makes for easy shipping, as you know, right? Bit of a hiss, not horrendously so. Yeah, there's Citra on there, certainly. There's something else as well. I just noticed in the camera there that you can actually see the yeast cake on the bottom of the bottle. So let's give this a pour. Oh, nice, and looks nice and clear from initial reaction. I don't think I was too gentle pouring that, to be honest. I struggle to get much head being formed. But one positive straight off the bat is that it's a half a litre, which we like. So, what have we got? It's a golden colour. Well, you read the grain bill, so I guess that's pretty consistent with what the grains were. What does it say? It's 3.5 Marisota, 500 grams of biscuit malt, 100 grams of crystal 40. So this is going to be pretty malty, I would say. Although, hopefully there's a good enough bit of bitterness to counter that. I'm getting citra on the nose, but not a lot. There's only a total of 55 grams of hops in this beer, so it's. I think the fact that it's a summer IPA is probably giving something away, that it's meant to be perhaps a bit more thirst quenching than a very, very hoppy beer, which can be. You know, you have 2 or 3 on a summer's day. It doesn't quench your thirst that much. It's more of it's something different, I suppose. Whereas a lighter hop profile, I think, is more of a thirst quencher, especially when it's cold. That's just my opinion, though. I am getting something else, and I'm assuming that's the elderflower. So I don't know how you added that. Elderflowers are packed with wild yeast, so. Maybe you put it in at the end of the boil to make sure that didn't have any effect on your microbes in there. Maybe you didn't and you went for it and you gambled, I don't know. But anyway, let's give it this go. So yeah, this is quite malty. What am I picking up? Well, there's big malt flavours in this. For me, it could be a bit more balanced. It could have more of a hop profile. There is some bitterness there. The flavour and the aroma are lacking a bit, I'd say. But some people like their beer like that. I don't think I'm picking up honey. Maybe that's one of the flavours that I'm getting. It's difficult to say, I guess. I'm not a mead drinker, per se. I, tasted it a few times, but I've never really got down with making it or trying different ones or anything like that. So it's difficult to say if that's honey. I'm guessing it is the honey. I'm also, I don't know, it's really difficult when you're reviewing these beers when you've got this kind of information. There we go. Because it tells me here that it was between brewing and bottling was only 13 days, but it also says it was primaried and secondaried, which is a hell of a fast turnaround for both primary and secondary. I can understand just about a beer in primary for 13 days and straight into the bottom, but secondary as well, that's going some. I don't normally secondary my beers, so it's again it's difficult to say because that's not a process that I regularly practice, at least not for regular kind of ales. The only time when I would secondary a beer is if I'm doing some long-term aging with a sour, for instance, or if I'm putting it on fruit and I want to get it off the yeast cake. So where was I going with that? Yeah, the fact that I've got this information now, that I know that it's been in the fermenter for only 13 days and it's been in a secondary as well, is kind of making me think it needed a bit longer and that I might be tasting some diacetyl. I always find these flavour compounds very difficult to pick out in a beer, and I don't want to be harsh to the reviewer because, the brewer, because you've taken the time and effort to participate in this competition, which is no mean feat, because there's a lot of planning involved. You've got to ship a big heavy box, and you've got to stump some cash up front as well. So. But for me, this is I don't think this is my cup of tea. This beer is, and my suspicion is that it's not been given quite enough time in the primary. Secondary, neither here nor there. If you want a secondary beer, then you can. My opinion is it's a bit too much risk of oxidation, but I would always give things a bit longer than, I'd normally give them longer than 13 days in the primary, but I have made a beer that's come out well with, I think, only 13 days in a primary before. So anyway, where am I going with this? Carbonation is very light, it's medium body. I think I am picking up some honey now as it's warming, which is nice. What else can I say? I think I'm going to finish that there. Thank you very much for the beer, Mr. Brewer. I am now going to, or Mrs. Brewer, I'm now going to finish the rest of this and pop you some scores. Cheers.